Human being versus being human. Contemporary science invites human being to move towards being human. In this sharing, my dear friends, I like to explore the need and the relevance of making nature, the environment, and the cosmos our friends. We need to make them our friends. Today's science invites us, human beings, to move towards being human. I like to reflect how science does this. We need to befriend nature. When I say that we need to learn to change, I don't mean that nature is hostile to us, nor that we are strangers to it. In fact, we all are very much part of nature. The interconnectedness between us and nature is so much that it is said about 50 minerals, salts, and chemical elements like iron, carbon, oxygen, calcium, potassium, magnesium, iodine, sodium, etc., which are in our bodies, are also abundantly found in nature, in plants, animals, and even in the distant stars millions and billions of light years away. As we are very much part of nature, the Mother Earth does not reject us when we are buried after death, nor the atmosphere rejects the smoke that comes out when our bodies are cremated. Of course, sometimes when we are struck by natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, or tsunamis, we are forced to think that nature operates against our survival and well-being. In fact, in many such cases, the natural disasters can be traced out that nature, in its efforts to maintain the fine balance, just reacts to our actions, which are very often highly detrimental to nature. For instance, due to the alarming increase in the global temperature, we see disasters like the melting of ice mountains in the polar regions, and that in turn increases the water level in the oceans, inundating small islands, displacing millions from the coastal areas. It is needless to say that nature sustains all sorts of lives, microbes, insects, plants, birds, fishes, and animals, including humans. But no other living being is seen to damage and destroy the earth and its environment as human beings have recklessly done in the past and are unfortunately still doing. Such thoughtless actions and careless attitudes keep us away from befriending nature, and those actions unfortunately spoil our holistic health and the fine balanced fabrics of nature. Being born as a human being is something that has happened to us, and we have not chosen or worked for that. Of course, from religious and faith perspectives, one may say that God has a great plan for every individual from eternity, and He knows us even before we are conceived in our mother's womb. But still, one might argue that I did not actually make any choice to be born. Being born as a human being is one thing, but being human is yet another thing. In being born as a human being, we don't have any choice, but being human is certainly our choice. Being human is a choice that demands a radical change in our attitudes and actions. Human beings have to act to become human and humane in their dealings with one another and with nature. Biologically and genetically, we are, no doubt, human beings, but to be emotionally and psychologically human is indeed our choice. Science, with all its recent researches, discoveries, and inventions, seem to teach us that it is not enough that we be just human beings, but also we need to learn how to be human and humane. Being human involves, among many other things, being humble, wise, selfless, friendly, and considerate to live and let others live, and above all, to be responsible in protecting nature and the environment. Because, as the most rational beings of all the creatures in the universe, at least as far as we know now, we have the utmost responsibility to save the earth for our future generations. We have received it from our ancestors and we are morally bound to pass it on to the future generations, if not in a better shape, at least as good as we have received it from our previous generations. It is high time that we realized that rivers, oceans, forests, birds, fishes, and animals, etc., can very well live without us human beings, but we cannot live without them. In fact, without us, they may live even better and safer, but without them, we cannot survive at all. Einstein seems to have said once that if all the honey bees in the world die, within next 4 years, humans also will die, because the honey bees contribute to the growth and maintenance of the plants and trees in nature by the process of pollination in the plants. I like to see the call of contemporary science to be human from three specific angles: the roles played by mystery, meaning, and wisdom in contemporary science. First, the fact of mystery. Contemporary science questions the classical understanding of reality. The new discoveries and observations, both in the macro and the micro domains, challenge the well-cherished dogmas of scientism. Scientism means the attitude of glorifying science as the most powerful enterprise which has answers for all the problems that humanity faces. But this attitude is strongly challenged today. For instance, the mysterious nature of matter. Werner Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty and Niels Bohr's principle of complementarity suggest that the actual nature of reality escapes our complete understanding. At the subatomic level, matter ceases to be material, and matter has lost its material substance. Similarly, the mystery of fine-tuning. The study of coincidences and the anthropic principle seems to suggest that the universe has been very meticulously fine-tuned to be ready so as to receive conscious human beings like us in the course of its long evolution. Being convinced of this fact, Freeman Dyson asserts that the universe knew that we were coming along. Fine-tuning in the universe, though, but certainly a strong indicator of an intelligent design behind the universe. For instance, the initial density of the universe had to be meticulously fixed to an accuracy of 10 to the power minus 60, and this precision is like an archer hitting a 1 centimeter square target placed very far at 15 billion light years away. By the way, 1 light year refers to the distance traveled by light in 1 year's time, that is about 9 trillion kilometers. Light travels at an enormous speed of 300,000 or 3 lakhs kilometers per second. That is, if it is calculated for 1 year, it becomes about 9 trillion kilometers. So the 1 centimeter target is at the distance of 135 followed by 21 zeros kilometer. Such a huge number is just beyond our imagination. So, better don't imagine. Several scientists who have now geologists like Horn, Arthur Peacock, and so on, and even great minds like Albert Einstein, also find something more to the evolution process than a mere chance. If one argues that all these fine tunings are just fixed by the laws of physics or the laws of nature, then Paul Davies, a renowned theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and astrobiologist, raises a very pertinent question. Where do the laws of physics come from in the first place? And why those laws rather than some other set of laws? Therefore, the mystery still remains. Coming to the second aspect, the need for meaning in life. One of the fundamental ways to define humans is to see them as seekers of meaning. As Viktor Frankl shows, the search for meaning in life becomes more fundamental to life than food, shelter, and clothing. Because when one loses meaning in life, one cannot live even if one has enough of food, shelter, and clothing. Therefore, meaning in life becomes more essential than those three. Philip Clayton, a contemporary American philosopher of religion and philosopher of science, shows that the quest for meaning is related to the very nature of human beings, and sciences alone will not be sufficient to comprehend human nature. And therefore, the quest for meaning cannot be satisfactorily fulfilled by science, though science may contribute something in the process of meaning seeking. Though humans are biologically very much a part of creation and share a lot with other creatures, yet they seem to be far, far different from all of them in terms of reason, willpower, ability to imagine, the exercise of control over natural passion, and above all, the ability to go beyond the immediate environment. However, we cannot easily define human life, nor its meaning or purpose, because here the questioner and the questioned are one and the same here. The one who questions and what is questioned are one and the same. Modern neuroscience may succeed in mapping out the areas of the brain to find out what happens when one is filled with love or hatred, fear or tranquility. Psychology may come up with convincing theories about the good effects of love and the bad effects of being rejected or the painful experiences of not receiving love and so on. But science can never exactly define what love is. And since it is this love that makes one find meaning in life, science can comprehend neither love nor meaning. Now moving to the last and the third aspect, the demand for wisdom. As science proceeds, we realize that we lose our grip over reality. The classical notions of certainty, causality, absolute measurability, and stability are now significantly challenged as shown by philosophy of science. We are forced to get reconciled with the arbitrary nature of the initial conditions, irreducibility, uncertainty, and unpredictability. By this, we are reminded of the contingents, that is, the temporary nature and finite nature of human beings. Such realization of our finitude makes us wise and humble. We are just a dot in the whole universe. In fact, not even a dot. We are actually nothing, even we can say less than nothing, whatever would that mean. Yes, the universe is very, very vast. Just to give you an idea of the unimaginable vastness of the universe, actually there are two parts, the known universe and the unknown universe. The known universe is very, very small, but that very, very small known universe is indeed very, very big. The diameter of the known universe is about 93 billion light years. 1 light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year's time. We know that light is the fastest thing in the whole of the universe, though some say tachyons, theoretically postulated, travel faster than light. Be that as it may, as I mentioned earlier above, light travels at the speed of 300,000 km per second, and then for 1 year it is about 9 trillion kilometers. So the diameter of the known universe is 837 followed by 21 zeros kilometers. This is the size of the known universe. This huge size is interestingly very, very small compared to the unknown universe, because the unknown universe is 150 sextillion times bigger than the known universe. Now, how much is 1 sextillion? 1 sextillion is 1 followed by 21 zeros. So the unknown universe is 150 followed by 21 zeros times bigger than the known universe. I know your heads must be reeling at these incredibly huge numbers. Yes, when one starts deeply thinking about the universe, it is quite natural that one's head starts reeling. If we lose the sense of mystery, if we are not able to find meaning in our existence, and if we don't become wise enough not to ignore the place of values in science, we will have to face the doom of humanity. As Francis Bacon, an English philosopher and statesman of the 16th century, expressed his desire that science must take us back to the glorious state of pre-fallen era. Yes, we understand that should make us wise, not otherwise. Dudley Shapiro, an American philosopher of science, very beautifully puts it. We need to learn from nature how to learn. Yes, we not only learn from nature, but also we learn how to learn from nature. If we are not humble enough to learn how to learn from nature, we may end up using science as a tool of desolation, and it would be like chopping off the very branch of the tree upon which we are sitting. And as Claude Lévi-Strauss, a Belgian-born French anthropologist and ethnologist, fears, the world began without the human beings and will end without them. Therefore, in conclusion, we can say a revised understanding of science, that is, science with a human face, will surely enrich humanity. Enriching humanity would mean, among many other things, making humans wiser, more sensible to mysteries, and enabling them to find more meaning in their very existence. Though humans have enormous cognitive power, yet they are cosmically very insignificant in the vast dark universe known and the unknown. As Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician, physicist, inventor, writer, and Catholic theologian of the 17th century, puts it like this: man is only a reed, that is, a blade of grass, more fragile than nature, but he is a thinking reed. He does not need the whole universe to wipe him out. A breath, a drop of water is enough to kill him. But still, humans are more powerful than noble than the whole universe, because Pascal continues, man knows that he dies and knows the advantage that the universe has over him, whereas the universe that kills him does not and cannot. With due admiration and respect to science, we dearly expect science to collaborate with other disciplines to enrich humanity. It is high time that we realized, as Philip Clayton declares, science alone will never provide the answer. To look for meaning of life merely in the scientific endeavors will be like looking for the right thing in the wrong place or the wrong thing in the right place. But in both cases, we will be the losers. Why should we, as the most rational beings in the whole of the vast universe, who are able to advance so much in science, why should we be the losers after all? Human beings are called to move towards being human.